Welcome to the Community Trust Sports Centre in Timaru, where the New Zealand Endurance National Indoor Bowls Championships are being held. We're watching the final of the singles, and it's between Jeanette Lennon of the Woolston Workingmen's Club in Canterbury and Paul Jamieson of the Punters Club in Hutt Valley. Jeanette Lennon will be using the brown bowls with the white discs on, while Paul Jamieson has the black bowls. The players have tossed to decide who goes first, and it's Paul Jamieson that will be playing first. He has the black bowls for the final. And sharing the commentary with me this afternoon is former international Ivan Barr. Welcome, Ivan.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. It's good to be here to watch the final. The first time I think a woman's been in the final for many a year. In fact, no woman's ever won it before, so I would say 80% of the crowd might even get behind her.
So Jeanette Lennon has the chance to make history here.
Oh, definitely. This will be definitely a first if she ever wins it, if she wins this.
We've already made history in one sense. This is the first event to be held in this brand new stadium at Aorangi Park in Timaru. It's only just been completed. In fact, the painters and the plumbers and the wallpaperers were all moving out as the bowlers started moving in just a few days ago. And, they started the singles 3 days ago. We had 730 players line up at the start. Now we're down to just the last two, and a lot of bowls being played on the way to the final.
A lot of bowls, and it's been brilliant bowls too. This floor is absolutely magnificent. Good for draw bowling.
To get to the final, Jeanette Lennon beat Chris McAdam of Upper Hutt Valley in one semi-final, while Paul Jamieson beat Patrick Holt of Waikato in the other. So that brings Lennon and Jamieson together.
A north-south saga.
Yes, the crowd always likes that, don't they?
They do, yes.
It doesn't matter what the sport is. Nothing like a north-south clash.
Jeanette Lennon started off well, drawn the shot.
But, even though we're in the South Island, and I suppose probably 2/3 of the participants are from the South Island, we had 3 of the 4 semi-finalists from the north. So Jeanette Lennon will be no doubt doing her bit to see that the South carries the day.
Definitely.
So Paul plays his third bowl of the first end, and already the bowlers seem to have found the range of the mat quite well.
They have, and they seem to have settled into it straight away. I thought early nerves might sneak in, but it hasn't.
And with these two players, we're looking at somebody who has played for New Zealand and somebody who looks as if they might be going to play for New Zealand.
Well, to be perfectly honest, he will be after this. The New Zealand team gets announced straight after this competition, and Paul will be named in the team. So it'll be an extra special day for him.
Jeanette, of course, has played for New Zealand in the past and now plays for the South Island.
He plays for the South Island and has been a member of the Canterbury Patterson team, which is the Ranfurly Shield of indoor bowls. But I don't think she's made it this year, but the selectors might have to have another look again, I would say, especially on this performance.
Neither of these players have previously won a national championship, have they?
No, although Paul's been to a semi-final. In the fours last year, he was beaten in the semi-finals. He's actually got a New Zealand junior title. He won the champion singles when he was a junior for the juniors, so...
A covering bowl there from Paul Jamieson. Jeanette Lennon holds the shot at the moment. There's only one in it. And there's 12 ends to be completed in the final. No time limit. Bowl's on its way.
Just a bit wide.
Well, that doesn't give us an indication whether she has the shot or not, but it looks to be a brown. But in fact, she's taken out the black bowl.
Yeah.
Angles can be deceiving. So we've completed one end in the final, and it's 1-0 to Paul Jamieson of Hutt Valley over Jeanette Lennon of Canterbury. The first of 12 ends. And as in the semi-finals, you'd expect a draw bowl competition between these two?
Yeah, definitely. Paul's definitely, his forte is drawing, although he is capable of playing the run and up shots, because he skips a Patterson back at home. But the drawing is his best forte, so I'd say he'd stick to drawing mainly.
Well, he's certainly drawn the shot with that one. Puts the early pressure on his opponent. We saw him gain in confidence in the semi-final, it would be true to say.
Just as Jeanette Lennon did too. She started off shaky, then came on strong.
It's bowl for bowl here in the second end. This floor, it's only just been laid. The polyurethane only dried just a day or two before they started laying the mat, so it was a very tight schedule to get the stadium ready for the National Championships. Last held in Timaru in 1985, so a very welcome return to the South Island for the Indoor Bowls Federation.
Paul played a handy back bowl there, although I would say Jeanette would probably play up to it a fraction, try and rock the black out of the way.
So second bowl on its way for Jeanette Lennon. And she's played this pretty well to perfection too.
Yeah. And she's got good position too now.
The Indoor Bowls Federation has a special trophy for the women doing best in the singles, doesn't
That's
it?
right, yeah. And Jeanette's already won that, the Truth Cup it's called, and because women have never won this, they've always had this trophy.
Well, I couldn't expect a tighter situation than that. 4 bowls all within centimetres of the jack.
Depends how game Jeanette's here, but she could be tempted to run up to that middle brown there and split those 2 blacks out.
Should no doubt have a look at it. And she's coming round the front now, just having a look and seeing what will happen. Should be confident, you should be aware of the fact that not very many run bowls have worked on this floor yet, have they?
Yeah. It's a good drawing floor, and if you're actually playing an upshot, I feel you've got to go straight at it. Oh, she played it.
Well, that looks like an insurance bowl to me.
Yeah.
Probably safe to say that Paul isn't confident of having it, or he probably would just leave it alone.
Oh, Jeanette's got another bowl, and I think she's got a reasonable position to have a go at it, so I think he's got to make sure he gets one reasonably handy.
Well, he played that very well.
Excellent.
Moved the brown bowl and left himself with 2 shots, but there's still possibilities for Jeanette there. Just checking the weight first on the face of the mat before she delivers the bowl. She's playing with weight.
She's played it well.
Pulled the shot perfectly. Parts the black bowls and gets 2 shots for her efforts. So we've had 2 ends completed now in the final of the singles. 2 shots to Jeanette Lennon means that she goes out to a 2-1 lead after 2 completed ends. A big difference to the scoreboard.
And that could inspire Jeanette to better things from here on in. A little bit of that lady luck there can set you alight.
So we've had 4 ends in the final, and that's 3 all. Paul Jamieson of Hutt Valley and Jeanette Lennon of Canterbury. A little bit of luck can make all the difference.
And you've got to rise above letting that worry in. You've got to forget that you had 4. It's a handy bowl. Yeah, she's certainly come back now.
As if to say, well, luck's played its part, now it's time for me to play some decent bowls.
Yes, and I suppose when Lady Luck's with you, you suddenly do inspire to get on with it. Try and push those browns out. Yeah, he's got a wee bit of weight.
Weight on this time.
He's done
He's
it.
played it fairly well. Still 1 down, but a lot better than it was.
A lot better than it was.
3rd bowl coming up for Jeanette Lennon.
So it's just short. She's still holding 1. Coming in nicely.
He's back on his bowls again.
Yeah.
He's now holding the shot.
Holding the shot.
Jeanette with her last bowl of the end to play.
Going to try and roll that brown then, I think, or flick it back. With that weight, she's trying to flick it back.
Well,
got away with it.
The upshots are working for her at the moment. There it is. It's the weight to get the bowl moving. What's he going to get though? Not enough. So Paul goes down a further 1 on the 5th end. That takes Jeanette Lennon out to a 4-3 lead. They were level after 4 ends, and we've now had 5 ends of the final. It's 4-3 to Jeanette Lennon of Canterbury over Paul Jamieson of Hutt Valley. Coming round to the halfway stage of the match.
Yes, and Jeanette's certainly riding a bit of a crest at the moment.
The crowd absorbed in the play here. It's not very showy, but it's very absorbing.
It's a good starter.
There's the Jamieson bowl coming up to the head.
Just a fraction heavy.
And he's sticking with the formula that's worked for him up until now. Just nice, smooth draw bowls. Whereas Jeanette has had her big success with 2, well, would hardly call them running shots, but weighted shots anyway. And in each case, luck has played a big part in the result.
Rest on the Browns will push the kitty away at the same time.
The bowl's on its way.
Yep.
And he's back on his job again. Gets the shot back. There's the Lennon bowl breaking into the head now. And she's drawn shot at the drawn it.
She's responding to the challenge very well.
And once again, Paul has to be very precise with his draw to get the shot back. Bowl's coming up towards the head, and he's just a little over. There are possibilities there, but
Just didn't quite.
he has to be very accurate with his last bowl to achieve a good result. Final bowl of the end on its way now.
Oh, I think she set up a split there.
No, it's a running shot up to the head, and that is not the result he was looking for.
So he lost 2 for that.
Knocking the jack off the mat, or a kill as it's known in the game. In singles, it costs you 2 points. So that takes Jeanette Lennon out to a 6-3 lead at the halfway stage. Well, the jack that time just reached over the white line of the box area, as it's known, marked out in white there, which gave the opponent the chance to place the jack where she wanted it.
And she elected to go for a long end. And she's been handling those quite well, so she might as well stick with them.
First bowl from Paul, well, it hasn't worried him the length.
No.
That might be what he was looking for. There's the reply on its way from Jeanette Lennon.
Just undergreened it.
Second bowl for Paul Jamieson.
Coming in nicely here, I think. Good bowl.
Tightened it up. 2 very good shots. Just a little weight from Jeanette this time. She's played it fairly well.
There's 2.
It looks as if the black bowl at the rear is still the shot.
Paul will be trying to sit one right on top. Pressure right back on.
Still just draw weight for Paul Jamieson. It's turning into the head now.
Just from fast. Definitely shot there. Seems to run a wee bit down there. She's got
See
good
what
green
Jeanette
again.
Lennon's bowl does. He's gone a little wider.
And she's drawn the shot.
Certainly a brown now. Paul doesn't want to concede any shots on this end, so he must be up there this time. He's got within striking distance, and he doesn't want to
Lose
see
touch.
Jeanette pull away again.
No, you've got to try and keep in touch.
Has he given it enough weight?
Give him a green. He's got
Yeah,
a good
he's
shot.
played it to perfection, or nearly perfection. Takes the jack back to within centimetres of the back of the mat. Paul Jamieson may be holding 3. The jack's just a few centimetres from the back of the mat, and 1 ball to come. And Jeanette's playing to reach. She thinks she's given it too much weight.
Yeah.
Has she?
Yes.
She has, yes. That little tap on the
She
mat
knew. She
gave
indicated
the
it.
game away, didn't it?
Black.
It's a black, so that is 3 to Paul Jamieson. 8 ends completed in the final, and he now leads again by 7 shots to 6. And it's a wee while since he's been in the lead. The third end was when he had the advantage. Can Paul get back onto his draw length again?
He's drawn a beauty.
I guess this is one of those situations where the crowd would like either of them to win, wouldn't they?
Oh, they would, yeah. I mean, Paul's a gentleman, really. I mean, he's one of the politest bowlers out there in the game. I mean, he's a great character. I've always thought he was a brilliant bowler.
That lovely smooth delivery rhythm again.
It's a good bowl. Goes to the second ball from Jeanette Lennon. She's still 1 down, but she'll be reasonably happy with that. Yeah, and Paul will just try and match that one. Possibly get inside it a bit and fall over if he can.
It's on its way into the head now. Well, he's played it fairly well. He would have liked to have been right inside it.
Right inside it, because Jeanette's got a chance for a trail here. She's playing with weight. She's trying to trail it back. And she has.
She's done just that. That woke up the crowd.
Yes, I
Jeanette
think.
Lennon holds 1, possibly 2 shots here. And he's given that just that extra little bit of weight to run right up to the head. And how's his judgment?
A bit heavy. He tapped the mat as it went away.
Yes,
so
he did.
but I think he's only 1 down. She's not sure.
Do I or don't I? Do I take a safe 2 and draw the scores?
I think I'd do.
I think that's what she's lining up to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, she might do it. Oh, wow.
She's not going to ever tell us whether, in fact, she had played for that shot, but they could have given her 3.
I think she tried to draw in there, and if she'd moved that an inch or 2, she would have. There was a very good bowl.
So we've got 10 ends completed now.
Going right down to the
Lennon
wire.
scores well on that end. So she's gone to a lead of 9 to 8 after 10 ends. No. Misread the scoreboard. In fact, it is 8 all.
8 all, 2 to go. This is real precious stuff. The excitement in both of them must be amazing right now.
Yes, they know they've both got an equal chance of winning this match. Second ball from Jeanette Lennon. Coming up. Move the jack, but I think it would still be a black ball. We're seeing a very absorbing final here. 8 all with 1.5 ends to play.
long as you don't drop more than one, you're still with a fighting chance in the last end.
Ooh, he may have done some harm here. No. The black ball obviously wasn't touching the jack, so... Well, the ball's on its way, and it does look to be a draw.
She's trying to push up those blacks, push her out like that.
And if she was, she hasn't changed the situation.
But she set it up for the next one, because it will run through and just give her the shot.
He really needs one round the back, as close as he can get to that back brown one, doesn't he?
Yeah. Be careful he doesn't play the shot for it, eh? So he's got to throw a bit of extra green into it.
He's gone reasonably wide on this one.
He's played a very good bowl. It's handily placed.
It's a little bit of insurance for him. Paul looks on nervously. He knows what she's been able to do so far with her weighted shots. And there's a little bit of weight, but not a lot.
She's trying that. She just didn't. Ooh.
Well, it's still got... No, it's not going to fall over.
Yeah, I don't think Paul will bowl this at all.
If he's confident he has the shot, I would imagine he will
I
not
think
play
he'll
this
take the
last
one
bowl.
and run.
He's indicated that he's not going to play it. So that's one to Paul Jamieson on the 11th. And he goes out into a 9-8 lead. They've got one end to play. Paul Jamieson of the Punters Club in Hutt Valley leading Jeanette Lennon of the Woolston Workingmen's Club in Canterbury by 9 shots to 8. He's drawn beautifully all day. He's still drawing beautifully.
A good shot to start with.
There's the Lennon reply. A characteristic wobble, but if it works, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Got shot out of it.
We haven't had a woman in the final of the singles for quite some time, and are we going to have a winner? A woman has never won the singles at the National Indoor Bowls Championships.
That's a good bowl.
Paul Jamieson's doing his best to make sure one doesn't this time too.
I think if a woman wins it, we might have to take away the cup we present to a woman and
Say
disregard
they're
it.
acting on equal terms.
Yes. Well, they are equal terms.
Yes, there's no discrimination, age or sex in indoor bowls. The juniors play the seniors at exactly the same level. This looks to be a narrower track altogether.
Yeah. I don't
Oh
think.
dear, what has he done? He has moved the jack, and I would think he's probably given it away.
I don't know what he was trying. He might have been trying to push the black in, but I would say it was a wee bit of a nervous shot.
There's certainly some weight on with that bowl.
Yes.
It hasn't played with weight. Not that weight.
If she draws this, it's going to make it really awkward. And she has.
Wow. Jeanette Lennon of Canterbury probably holds the win there. Each still got one ball to play, but it looks very much like two browns from this position. Can he respond? It's on its way, coming up to the head, and he's fallen short.
He's cut it down to one, though, I think. I think he's only one down.
But of course, Jeanette still has a bowl to play. She can still win this
She
outright
can
with
win
her
this.
last bowl.
She draws this, she wins. You've just got to get down and float it out.
A lot of tension going in here. This could be... And she gives it a
It's a nervous
ease, and
bowl.
up she comes. It does look a nervous bowl.
No, it's short, I think.
It's fallen short.
No.
The black bowl, so there was only one score on that 9-all after the regulation 12 in. Bowlers set great store by last bowl, don't they?
Well, they do, but
Even more important than, say, bowling the first one and sitting it on the jack.
well, if you feel that you could do that, that's fine. But and the coach will tell you to go first, but not me. I definitely would go last.
So Paul said, I want last bowl, and he's told Jeanette that she's going to be playing first, and down comes the first bowl.
And she sat it on, Kelly.
Well,
That's a good response.
Paul might be wondering if he did the right thing now, but he's made his decision and he has to live with it.
Paul want this one behind with his first one. Give him something to play to.
So there it is, it's on its way.
And he's played a good shot.
Well, he didn't settle for second best, he went for the shot itself and he's got it. Now, that is a nervous bowl.
Yep.
That's a carryover from the pressure that went on Jeanette on that
the
last bowl of the
yeah,
previous end.
She felt it then.
She just has to hold together for 2 more bowls. Paul also knows there's a national title sitting there waiting for him to grab. At the moment he's beginning to look like the winner, isn't he? It's tense. Jeanette's got to steady herself. Mentally.
Just bowled a good shot.
She's back on side. The crowd think that's the shot. We think it's closer than that.
Yeah. We'll be trying to reach up to his black and split
Third
them.
bowl coming up for Paul Jamieson.
It's on its way. Swing. He's played a cracker.
Both the bowls have moved. From our angle, it looks as if Paul Jamieson may be holding the win. This is it. They played 12 ends, 4 bowls each. Couldn't find a winner. Now we're down to the last 2 bowls of the extra end. It's one of those occasions when the ball doesn't even want to leave your hand. You're so tense.
She's running at it.
Let's wait.
She's got the brown.
She's got the brown and she's given it to black. Paul Jamieson holds 2 shots and the run.
Good on him. Good old Paul. He'll be wrapped. What a great game.
So we've had a terrific match of singles here. It was a shame that there had to be a loser. It's also a shame that we haven't been able to make history here and see a lady through to win the singles. But the event goes to Paul Jamieson of Hutt Valley, defeating Jeanette Lennon of Canterbury by 11 shots to 9. Paul, congratulations. You had to work hard for that.
Oh, thanks very much, Chris. Yeah, it was a real hard day's bowls out there today, and in the end I was quite lucky to come through. Jeanette had an opportunity, but yeah, fantastic game of bowls.
You must have got worried when those up shots started to work for her.
Yeah, yes, she started hitting them all right. I was very worried when I'd played all my bowls and she still had a bowl to go, and I knew I was 1 down on the head. I thought I had second shot, but my heart was pounding as she came up to bowl, and then she just fell a little bit short, and so we managed to get the extra in, which yeah, quite lucky in the end.
You had the tension there as well.
Yeah, we did. So yeah, absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing.
We're now about to watch the final in the pairs. And the final will be between Grant Lamy and Mike Phipps from the Spotswood Club in North Taranaki and Derek and Heather Bowman from the Poverty Bay Club, Bay East Coast. The Bowmans are using the brown bowls and Grant Lamy and Mike Phipps have the black bowls. It's Heather Bowman to play the first bowl of the final. And not a bad start. Welcoming back Ivan Barr, former national representative who's assisting me with the commentary. Welcome, Ivan.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. And it's a good start by Heather because she had a rather nervous semi-final, so it's good to see her start off well. And Mike's replied as a reasonable bowl, but they'll take a while to get a feel of the green.
This final is over 9 ends, the same as all the other matches in the pairs competition have been. We started out originally 3 days ago with 455 teams in the pairs. At the beginning of today we were down to 153, and now there's just the last 2 on the floor. Mike Phipps playing his second bowl.
It's worth noting it's being played in Timaru, and it's 2 North Island teams into the final, so a very good result for the North Islanders. They won the singles yesterday in a North-South game, but 2 North Islanders here today.
Heather Bowman playing her next bowl. Coming up to the head, a little short.
Yeah, she's
a little erratic from Heather.
Yeah, she was very nervous in the semi-final, and it's still showing here. Mike Phipps bowled brilliantly in the semi-final, and if he can capitalise early,
There's 3 are all overweight, but they're all in a handy position.
Yep.
Having played their 3 bowls each, the players change over. In the pairs game in indoor bowls, each player plays 3 bowls, the leads play theirs, and then the skips. So now it's Derek Bowman to play his first bowl of the first end.
I wouldn't think it'd be too slow a game, because both these skips like to get on with the job and see what they're doing and get on with it. And Derek started off again well.
This is Grant Lamy from North Taranaki, one of New Zealand's talented younger bowlers.
Oh, yeah, he's been a North Island rep for the last 2 years, and he was probably unlucky missing out on the New Zealand team this year, but I would say in 2 years' time he would probably head in that direction.
Derek Bowman, on the other hand, has played representative bowls for 4 different centres, counties, Hawke's Bay, Wellington and Poverty Bay now, where he lives. So he's also an experienced bowler.
Understand each other and accept what happens.
So the bowl on its way. Well, he's taken 1 out, but he'll still be 2 down.
Still be 2 down. He was trying to flick the kitty through that gap there.
There's a lot of back bowls back there, and unfortunately there's no use if he can't get the jack there.
No, and I don't think he will unless Derek's had one on the outside of it.
No,
he's too experienced for that.
Final ball of the first end for Derek Bowman. He recognises the danger from those bowls, and he's covered them. And the last bowl from Grant Lamy. Coming up now towards the head.
Just a bit short.
Still short. So the first end's been completed. The players will take out the brown shot bowls. And it's 2-0 to Derek and Heather Bowman from Poverty Bay over Grant Lamy and Mike Phipps from North Taranaki. And can we see a slight steadying down now, having scored on the first end? Will that settle Heather's nerves down a little? Bowl's on its way. It's not going to be short this time.
It's run past by about a foot, so it's handily placed. I mean, it's the first time that way for them, so you've got to expect them to find the green early on.
And here's the reply from Mike Phipps. Been drawing well in this tournament. Second bowl from Heather Bowman on its way. A little bit of a weight correction to be made, and I think she's done it.
Picked it up and dragged it back nicely. That'll help her get confidence.
And the reply from Mike Phipps.
He's replied very well. That's a handy place.
An interruption to the power supply here at the stadium in Timaru, but we're back underway again. The lights went out briefly, and so did our television coverage.
So it's a bit darker now than it was a little bit before.
This is a very new stadium. In fact, this National Championships is only the first event that the stadium in Timaru has been used for, so maybe they're having a few teething troubles.
Now, that was a very brave shot by Mike Phipps, and it came off very well.
So what can Derek Bowman do?
He's right on the edge. You've got to be very careful.
In indoor bowls, it's a penalty if you knock the jack off, isn't it?
Yeah, if you knocked it off with this first bowl, it would have been 2, and if you knock it off with any of the last 2, it would be 3.
That probably explains that little tentativeness from Derek Bowman here. He just has to hope that his opponent doesn't get too many in close. That, in fact, is what's happened.
Oh, he's very unlucky. That bowl's just set off the mat.
1 in, 1 out.
Well, he's not shy with it.
He's playing to reach the shot, and he's
he's
done
got
so.
away with it. A very good bowl.
Well, that's what he's doing. Fast one on the way. He's got him.
He'll take a brilliant shot.
Well, that needed a certain amount of confidence.
Grant is the most confident, I reckon, in New Zealand at the moment. He has a go at everything.
Probably a long-range draw for Derek Bowman. He's trying very hard. He'll still be one down.
He'd be an asset in any district.
And he's on the way. He's looking to get rid of that brown bowl, obviously. Again, one in, one out. So Lamy and Phipps will score 1 on the second end. We've had 2 ends completed. It's 2-1 to Derek and Heather Bowman over Grant Lamy and Mike Phipps.
If Mike Phipps can get on top here, I think it could just about seal the fate of the game, because Heather's certainly showing a wee bit of nerves. Mind you, I don't blame her. I'd be nervous too if I was out there. And she comes.
Well,
She's
fighting hard against the nerves.
Yeah,
It's the shot.
got the shot. Good to see.
That'll make her feel happier.
Yeah.
Come on, smile. Mike Phipps playing his second bowl. A little overweight, but a handy position. And her skip asks her to do exactly the same. Round the back and cover the back bowl, but in fact she's fallen short.
The Australians, they still have to hit it first, so Mike Phipps will be trying to move it, I would say, with this one.
The bowl
And
coming
he's
up.
short too.
That won't help the cause.
Better green this time, and a good bowl.
And she's made sure she's round the back where she's supposed to be.
Yep. Be happy with that.
Grant Lamy playing first.
Just gone round the back, but I don't think he was trying to do that. I think he was trying to tap it. He'd try and join them. I don't think he'd try to get too close to it.
Well, his bowl's coming up to the head
But he
now.
has.
How's he done? That might make it a little more difficult to tap the jack back, mightn't it?
Yeah, I think he'd probably play with a fraction more weight, that's all.
That's what he's trying to do, but he's been unlucky there. He didn't get anywhere near the result he was hoping for. So, second bowl from Derek Bowman on its way. Plenty of green, he's looking to cover those back bowls, and that's
a very
about what
good
he's
bowl
done.
here. Ooh, a fraction more would have been nice for him.
He's still looking for the same sort of result.
No, he's trying to draw it.
And he's done no good whatever. He'll certainly be 3 down. Yet from that position, it probably is only 3.
But he might have been more down before he bowled it. Any movement of the jack would have... Oh, but that'd be 4, I think.
And the players have indicated 4 shots, so an early break in this pairs final. Heather and Derek Bowman have gone out to a 6-1 lead over Grant Lamy and Mike Phipps. And 4 shots gives them a very handy advantage with 3 ends played. And that'll help settle Heather down even more.
No, she should grow with confidence now. I mean, that's a good handy start for her. Because Grant and Mike now have got to play a bit of catch-up bowls.
Well, Mike Phipps certainly hasn't given up.
Oh, they won't give up, not with Grant in the team.
Second bowl for Heather Bowman. This is the highest level of bowl she's competed at. She's won invitation singles in her own district. But this is the first time she's got to the final of a national championship. Whereas Mike Phipps and Grant Lamy have been there, done that.
bowl by Mike.
Nervous wobble again, but it's going to a good home.
It's a good bowl. It's handily placed.
Now, third bowl for Mike Phipps. Tucks the jack in.
It's a very good bowl.
That's the sort of reply they needed after dropping 4 on the previous end.
Yeah, they need to get a couple here just to get back into it. Derek will probably play up and just over the draw just to bounce it out a bit.
He's a very handy bowl behind the jack, doesn't he?
It'll come out sideways a bit.
Well, that's done just what he was looking for. It looks as if he's even got the shot out of it.
He got the shot. Grant will try and draw this.
Coming round now, and he's done just that.
It's called an excellent bowl. And Derek actually has to get another one close by because the one brown he's got there is very vulnerable, whereas Grant could whip that out if he leaves it as it is.
We've seen that he's got the confidence to play a tricky running shot, hasn't he? So
Well, there's a good shot.
Derek Bowman regains the shot with that bowl.
Grant straight down the bowl. He's going to try and draw it.
On its way very quickly.
Don't think he liked it that much, but it's getting there.
Hard to tell which is the shot from this angle. Grant's not convinced either.
No, I think he might have got the shot, but I think he's lining up. Still the possibility of having to go at those browns. But I think this is going to ruin any ideas.
Well,
Good shot.
Derek Bowman isn't put off at all. He's got the shot back and a safer position.
And he bowled very well in the first 4 in.
He looks to be in control.
He does, which
It's surprising against somebody like Grant Lumley, isn't it?
it is actually. Yeah, I mean,
Looks to be only just over draw weight. He's played it very well.
there's just an absolute brilliant bowl.
That brings the crowd to attention.
Certainly nothing wrong with his confidence.
So Grant Lumley and Mike Phipps score 1 on the 4th end, and they're now trailing by 2 shots to 6 over Derek and Heather Bowman. Mike Phipps to go first this time. Bowl's quickly on its way. The jack's no sooner straightened than the bowl's delivered.
Just gone behind by a foot, but it's a good starter.
First bowl of the 5th end for Heather Bowman.
Just cutting across a wee bit, but it's handily placed, so looks like it's about 6 inches short. This is wide on it. It's starting to come right.
Heather Bowman's second bowl. Making sure she's got the weight to get round the
That's a
back
good-
this time.
It's a good bowl.
I would imagine her opponent will be doing the same.
Trying to just get inside it.
Oh, Black holds the shot. The situation may rest with the positional bowls in behind. Last one for Heather Bowman.
It's coming home well. Should-
And that's a very handy second shot. Grant Lamy playing his first bowl.
It's a good bowl, but I think he was just trying to get round that.
Derek Bowman's been up, discussed the situation with his lead. Now playing his first bowl.
He was just trying to push that around. He's actually got good position at the back. That could be a bit of a worry to Grant.
Well, he will have, while Derek Bowman was playing his semi-final, he will have seen the kind of shots that Derek could play. So Grant will be conscious of knowing the scope of Derek's game.
Well, he knows Derek's not frightened. I think he'll try and come around and cover these browns.
And the bowl's on its way from Grant Lamy.
He's trying to cover the browns.
And he's done that pretty well.
That's magnificent.
It may even be another shot.
I think it will be.
The ball fell in.
Derek will have to try and push his brown just around the corner like he did last time.
Another draw weight bowl from Derek Bowman. He's played it pretty well.
But gentle, I think.
Just too timid.
They'll try and protect what they've got now. If they get 2 or 3 here, that brings them right back into the game.
Yeah, will this be the time if you were Grant Lamy, you'd be looking to put a block in the way?
I'd be a bit worried about them being able to hit it on either hand, so I'd be more worried about where the kitty could go. Because he can hit the any of those front bowls and get a result.
You may be able to squeeze the jack out to the left, mightn't he, to the Whitey and Brown bowls?
Yep. I'd possibly tempted to block the right-hand side and let Derek have another go at what he's been trying to do, because he's bound to play with a bit more weight.
In the pairs game, teamwork's is important. The two players have to be pretty much in accord.
Well, there's so much at stake for these two. I mean, they want to be happy with each other's decision, although I think I'd be trusting Grant quite. He's a good reader of the game. Yeah, I'd be putting a block up on the right-hand side to try and force Derek into playing onto that brown again. Although I'm picking Derek will come down with weight.
They've made up their mind, and now it's up to Grant to put it into practice. Looks like a block.
Going for the block on. Oh, I don't think he'd be happy with that. Well, he doesn't seem unhappy with it.
If it's finished up where he wanted, he's obviously trying to make it difficult for Derek to run his own bowl through.
Yeah, I think Derek will go right up to the middle one now. Try and squeeze Kitty out. It'll only go one down unless he plays it too hard.
He's indicating which way he thinks the bowls will go if they're contacted. Now it's a matter of getting the weight and the direction right, particularly the direction. It's on its way.
Yeah. I think he's 2 down still.
2 black bowls taken out, and that's all. So, 5 ends completed. And Grant Lamy and Mike Phipps are catching up. It's 6-4 to Derek and Heather Bowman from Poverty Bay over Grant Lamy and Mike Phipps from North Taranaki. We're about to start the 6th end.
It's another tight game.
The crowd following it quite well.
It's a good starter by Mike Phipps.
And he's steadied down, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's come onto his game very well. He played very well in this semi-final. Started a bit shakily, but he's picked it up here.
So first bowl for Heather Bowman.
Oh, she'll be disappointed with that.
That was well short. Now, Mike Phipps has certainly got the range now. He's judging the weight very well.
Gone wide this time.
Heather's
And
lost a
heavy.
touch completely. She doesn't need to be told, she knows.
It's given Mike Phipps a chance to get in there. He's left it open for her. No.
3 black balls in an umbrella fashion behind the jack. Different track this time from Heather. She's still short, but she's not getting closer at all. A little pat from Derek, don't worry. He's certainly been able to carry the pair through at difficult times.
He bowled very well. I think when your lead's going like that, it pays to play a short ahead to give you a chance to use bowls.
Derek's going to try it from the other direction this time. He's played this one pretty well.
He's playing very well. Great shot.
After being 4 down, Brown now have the shot. And how long is it going to stay there?
Grant will be having a go at this. You don't get too many opportunities.
There's the weight from Grant Lamy. Bang.
Oh, great shot.
And Derek Bowman's 4 down again. He knows he's in a match now.
His bowl's on the way already.
Same as last time, if he can do it.
Just a bit wider this time, but he's cut
gone
it down.
right through the gap. He may have cut one out.
Grant will try and draw right on top. Possibly he'd like to probably end up in front of it if he could.
That looks like the sort of weight to pull up short. Well,
Just a fraction more.
he's made it much harder for Derek to draw now.
I don't think Derek will draw this. I think he'll probably push through his Brown. Yeah, I think he'll go for that.
It may be as
In the
many
middle.
as 5 down, certainly be 4 down. So there's nothing to lose by attacking it now, is there?
No, he'll go for that middle Brown. It's a stand-up.
It'll cost
try.
him 3 if he knocks the jack off, but this sort of shot has worked for him before. It's going to
Let's
work
cut it
again.
down. Cut down to 2.
2 black balls taken out. So 6 ends completed and the scores are level. Derek and Heather Bowman from Poverty Bay playing Grant Lamy and Mike Phipps from North Taranaki. It's 6 all.
Now this is where kitty comes very vital when you bowl the kitty up. Mike wants to keep the ends long. You wouldn't want to give the kitty away because it would give Derek a chance to shorten the... And I think that's too short too. That'll give Heather a chance to get back bowls. When she's playing as she is at the moment, you want to keep it as long as you can. And Derek would have been wise in playing a length like this.
Reasonable beginning from Mike Phipps. We'll see what happens with Heather's first bowl. No, she's still not
fallen
confident.
short.
She's the one who's under the most pressure at the moment.
Yeah, she's feeling it more at the moment, but
I guess that's understandable.
Yeah, and I'm sure Derek can pick her up. He's just got to encourage her to come around behind. Forget about trying to draw the kitty. Just try and reach through it.
How's she done this time?
She's got a good bowl. She's gone behind. Just watch reaching the fraction through it. He's got a talker into it. She'll come right.
Next bowl on its way very quickly.
He's responded very well.
This match has turned right around.
That's short. Just a fraction short.
At least she's got a close bowl this time.
Yeah. He's got a good back one there.
Quick chat between Grant Lamy and Mike Phipps.
I think he might have been telling him to make sure the jack goes long if he wins it.
No, I'll do the other thing. Lamy bowl coming up into the head now. Round the back.
Derek will play up inside his own brown, I think, and take a place of one of those blacks.
The bowl's on its way.
I'll try to get inside it.
It's still 2 to black.
I think Grant will probably try and go around the brown like he did last time. Yeah, he's trying to cover that brown up.
And he's done that pretty well. Second ball of the end for Derek Bowman.
Trying to roll his brown over or get inside
Slightly
it.
straighter course this time. It was almost too straight, but he's got away with it. Do we have 2 touches here? Can't listen in on their conversation. We might get some clues as to what they're up to.
Depends who's got shot to what he does. If he's got shot, I'll be a bit more tentative.
Grant Lamy's already shown us he can play most of the shots in the book. Delicate draw.
Oh,
And out goes the brown. Now, black should hold 3 shots there.
No, he's not. So the kitty might be flying quite quickly. That's why he's probably not standing up.
Coming up to the head now. He's dislodged one of the black bowls, but he'll probably still be 2 down. In fact, that's the case.
Yeah.
So, the Grant Lamy Mike Phipps combination from North Taranaki go into the lead there. They scored a 2 on the 7th end. Now leading by 8 shots to 6 over Derek and Heather Bowman from Poverty Bay.
It's another 3/4 end, which surprises me. But they're still scoring well, so they might as well run at it.
Round the back for Mike Phipps.
Good opener, about a foot behind, so
It's a little short.
just run past it. So Heather's still got the shot if she can get round onto those blacks.
In the last 4 ends, the Lamy Phipps combination have scored a 1, a 2, a 2, and another 2.
Good shot here by Heather.
This is Mike Phipps' third bowl of the 8th end. Only one end to go after this one. So Derek Bowman will be aware that he really has to score on this end. He's been watching his opponents do all the scoring for the last 4 ends.
Heather's played a good bowl here. A bit unlucky.
It's 2 to Brown, but the position looks a little better for black than it does for Brown. I'm sure Grant Lamy won't leave it like that.
No, Grant won't. He'll be trying to reach through and just run it back a fraction. He's done that.
Grant Lamy trails the jack back. He's probably holding 2.
I think Derek will go down and follow through on that split there.
A little more weight on this bowl.
Well, he's narrow.
That wasn't a kind result.
No.
All he can say is that it's out in the open.
It was a bit narrow.
He's 2, possibly 3 down. This game has turned completely around since the 3rd end when the Bowman combination had a 6-1 lead. It stung the other team into action, and they've certainly played the better bowls since.
Now Grant will try and just draw on top of it. Doesn't matter if he falls short a fraction.
Last bowl of the end on its way for Grant Lamy. And that'll be another counter.
And Derek's, it's still there for him. He's just got to take the place of the shot bowl.
We expect Derek to draw again. That's what he's trying to do.
He's close.
He's closer this time.
He took the chances a lot.
From 5 down to 1 up. That was the one that kept him in the match.
It was a good shot under pressure.
8 ends completed. It's 8-7 to Lamy and Phipps over the 2 Bowmans. Jack's been centred for the last end, the 9th and final end of the pairs final, and it's Heather Bowman to go first.
And she's opened up with a good first bowl.
It's only 1 shot the difference, so it's anybody's game.
And Mike Phipps is equal to the task.
Heather has to get as close as she can to give her skip a chance.
Just gone to the back a bit, but it's not wasted there.
And that's the second Phipps bowl on its way. Final end. Well, he's left a little bit of a target there.
So, yeah, and if Heather can just get in that split, the kitty will roll back to her 2 Browns. Got to play it confidently.
Nice smooth delivery this time anyway. How's the track?
Just a wee bit narrow, the weight was good.
This may be his last bowl of the pairs tournament.
You wouldn't want to tap it too hard. Ooh. But he's got good position at the back. Those 2 back bowls of Heather's are in a handy place for him. He'll be just trying to tap the kitty back.
Ball's on its way, a little bit of weight. He's in the right area. He has played it superbly.
Got a beautiful result.
Not the easiest of shots on for
No.
Grant Lamy either.
No, it's set nicely for Derek.
May have to figure on using 2 bowls to get a result from this one. His first may have to be positional.
Oh, he's a bit short.
He's kept himself in the match with the first bowl. Can he consolidate?
He's fallen short as well, but He might have wanted to do that because
He may have been wanting to put something in the way, mightn't he?
He's got the positional bowls at the back. I mean, Grant can't attack too much.
We're right down to the business end of the pairs now. There's just a few bowls to be played. He's got to find exactly the right track if he's going to draw it, but he's changed his hand.
I think he might be tempted to put one at the back first, if he can.
We'll see where this one finishes. Well, that hasn't changed the situation. The one brown bowl in amongst all the blacks, but it's the vital bowl.
The only thing that's done for Grant is he may look at hitting that last bowl that just went in on the outside edge, and he could flick Kitty over to the left and give him shot.
He's got a wider target in a sense, hasn't he?
Yeah, but if anything inside that would knock the Kitty back to the two browns or right off the mat, but he could hit that outside edge there. Okay, that's the only shot I can see for him.
He's conscious of the black bowl. However, this looks like a block bowl to me.
Yeah, he's trying to block that.
It's very short.
He wanted to be short.
Is it going to be in the way?
Don't know.
We won't know until Grant Lamy gets down and lines it up. At the moment, we can't tell.
I'm studying it.
There's the bowl there. It's
in fact, it's probably a good guide.
A couple of metres short.
It's probably a good guide. You get past that brown and hit the outside edge of that black, and you'd give yourself a shade.
It's in or out on this shot. There's no more bowls to be played.
As long as he doesn't hit that short one into the head, he'll be all right.
With a little weight. He's on line, but he hasn't done it.
He rocked it, but it didn't go.
So, Brown scores on that end, and again the scores at level. 9 ends completed, it's 8 all. So the players toss. We've got a deciding end to be played. They haven't tossed, but they're about to be reminded of that. Up goes the coin. And the tradition says that if you win the toss, you ask your opponent to go first. And I would imagine that's what's happened. That will give Grant Lamy the last bowl once again. He couldn't do anything with it on that previous end.
He made a good attempt at it, though. I mean, he rocked the bowl. It only had to sit over. He'd have got it.
It's 8 all after the regulation 9 ends.
That's a good bowl from Heather. Bowl probably went a foot behind, but it's a good place to have one, especially on an extreme when things could get a bit tricky later on. It might have gone further behind. Heather's bowled a good one here. Just ran away a bit. At least she's got shot now, so.
Second bowl of Mike Phipps on the way.
He bowled a good one too.
Is this the last bowl of the pairs for Heather? For Heather?
Well, it will be, because unless there's a drawn head.
A bit of nerves there, I would suspect. As with the singles the previous day, we have an extra deciding end in the pairs.
Came round nicely for Mike, although I think he was probably trying to get inside that brown.
The players change over for the last time.
Derek will try and come up there. And
he's played much better bowls this last few ends.
He's on the narrow
and
side.
Having said that, I put the kiss of death on him.
Grant will try and get right in that gap. He's slightly narrow. Ooh,
He's made it a little harder.
It's still there though, because you can use the brown. You can wick off the brown and run it across to the other brown on the right there, actually. So you can afford to have a wee bit of weight this time.
Second bowl for Derek
And
Bowman.
he's got the weight.
How's his line? It's pretty
And he's
good.
got it. And he's ran it across.
Well, he couldn't have asked for a better shot than that. It's now up to Grant Lamy to pull off a real beauty if he wants to win. He won't be short, that's for sure.
Probably. He's going to. That's amazing. It's still brown.
Derek Bowman still holds the win.
Brown.
He has a bowl to play. I'm sure he'd like to put a block in the way, but can he effectively block?
Now, if Grant had curled that, it would have been all over. Derek would have won. So, he's given himself a chance, isn't he, here?
I'm sure Derek would like a block in the way here. I think he's given it the weight to be a block bowl. I don't think he wants to.
He's right up to it. That's a very good bowl.
Oh, he's made it very difficult for Grant Lamy.
He has. He's got to play a...
He's now going to have to produce the bowl of the tournament so far to win this match.
Oh, it's...
As we look at it from the other end, as the leads are standing over the head, that's what they see. It's a brown. Derek Bowman has the win.
He's got to sit off his black. Reach up to his black
Grant
and fall
Lamy
over.
is being asked for a very difficult shot to win. The crowd will tell us. On its way, is he going to stay on the mat?
No, he's not too wide. Stayed out.
So, Derek Bowman and his wife Heather win the pairs, but one crucial shot on the deciding end gives them the win by 9 shots to 8. A little hug for the husband and wife team. They've not only won the pairs, they also get the trophy for the husband and wife doing best. 9 shots to 8. They've beaten Grant Lamy and Mike Phipps from North Taranaki, the Spotswood Club in North Taranaki. The Bowmans are from the Poverty Bay Club in Poverty Bay. Heather, obviously an exciting moment for you.
Oh, very much so. It's way beyond my dreams, that's for sure.
Is this the furthest you've ever gone in a national tournament?
It certainly is, yes. We did get to the last 8 2 years ago, but we were determined this year to hopefully better that.
Did I detect a few signs of nerves in the final?
Absolutely. Yes, the first couple of ends were something else.
And Derek, you had to produce a few pretty good bowls at times there to get you through.
They seemed to just come when I wanted them to, and there was a lot of pressure, but certainly a very exciting final.
Did you feel in control?
Most of the time I did. There was 1 or 2 ends where I thought I've got to play a really good shot, and most of the time they came off.
You had to beat a couple of pretty good combinations in the semis and the final.
Definitely, yes, Michael's well known, and Grant, very good player, and very good running shots that he played in the final there, and difficult to beat.
And of course an added bonus, winning the husband and wife trophy
Yes.
as well.
What a thrill.
And a very good afternoon from Waterley Racecourse. We're in Blenheim, the heart of Marlborough. It is the home of many hours of sunshine throughout the year and including today. Also good wine, good food and excellent harness racing action here. Second day of the Marlborough Harness Racing Club's winter meeting. The first day was here on Friday. It was a non-televised meeting. We will play you most of the replays though throughout the day because of course that form from 48 hours ago will be perfect for today's meeting. And perfect is what the weather is. There is not a cloud in the sky. It's a great setting and admission on course is free. If you are in the area today, Waterloo is the place to be. So a very good morning from the trackside team here at Waterloo for the second day of the Marlborough Harness Racing Club's meeting, and we share the day's action with the Oamaru Jockey Club. First race from Oamaru meeting today is at 11:40. We're calling into Sheldon Merthyr just after our first race here today. First race from Marlborough, it's set to go at 11:25, and we race at 30-minute intervals throughout the day. The last race is set to go at 5 minutes to 4. Let's have a look at the official weather and track conditions for today. An expected high of 14 degrees. It is very pleasant. Fine weather all day. Light southwesterly wind, and the track is in fast order. First race of the day, it's 11:25. It is the Marlborough Powder Coating Trot over 2,300 metres for the Geo Trotters. Number 1, Springfield Wiz at 19 and 5, and it's to be driven by Colin De Philippi. 2's the favourite, Hawa Wiz at 2.50 and $1.35, Kevin Townley. 3, OK Fella at 96 and 19, Brian Hill. Number 4 is Long Liner, Greg Cowie at 71 and 14. 5, Winter Sport, Andrew Sotheby at 6.75 and $1.80. Number 6, 2 at 30 and 7, David Butt. 7, Albion Park, Robbie Holmes, 11.75, $2.55. Number 8 is Vienna Wood at 7.15 and $2.30, Anthony Butt. 9, Russell Ladd, Dick Prendergast at 15 and 4, and 10, Pretty Slow, Mike De Philippi, 16.40 and $4.85. 11 in the race, Gazinta at 6.05, $2.05, Jimmy Curtin, and number 12, Tutaki Wiz. It's off the unruly mark at $70 and $12.45, Peter Jones to do the driving. They will start on the first of the day. Let's have a look at the scratchings for the remainder of the program. As I say, 30-minute intervals. And finishing at 5 to 4. Let's have a look at the harness honours board first, where number 11 Gazinta and 10 Pretty Slow show up as the best sprint performers. And here at Waterloo, 11 Gazinta and 10 Pretty Slow have form. First day form, in fact, here on Friday. Scratchings now, race number 2, which is the Marlborough Ford Pace. Take out 1, Miss Chick. 5, Royce Eden. 7, Pitfewer Lord, and 17, Sugar Man. Race number 3 on the card, the Hubbers Furnishings Handicap Trot. Take out 11, Eve's Temptation. 4th on the card is the Redwood Retirement Village Pace. Number 4, Pitfewer Lord. 6, Royce Eden. 9, Miss Chick, and 16, Quality Time. They come out. Race number 5. It's the Wilson Hairdressers Pace. Scratched 3, Eastwood Baron. 12, Smart John, and 15, which is Sugar Man. Race number 6, they all start. It's the Grove Tavern Handicap Pace. Feature race of the day, first leg of the TAB double on races 6 and 8. The 7th is the Wrightson's NRM Pace. Take out 1, She's a Sheila, and number 4, which is a Battle Cruiser. Race number 8. It's the Graffar and Crouch Pace. They all start. That's the first leg of the TAB treble as well as the second leg of the TAB double. Race number 9, they all start. The Redwood Tavern Conditioned Pace. And race 10 at 5 minutes to 4 rounds out the treble today. And number 7, Corbett, comes out of the Oxley's Tavern Pace. So that's the way the day stacks up here at Waterloo. Now, on the first day, the highlight had to be the Barron Blitz. 5 driving successes for Ken Barron, and 4 of them were for John Lishner, including the treble and the last 4 races on the card. Ken Barron joins us trackside now, and Ken, may not be such a Barron Blitz today because not many of the horses are backing up that you drove to win the other day. One that is Wes Way, which is trotting in race number 3. How do you think it will go with the extra 10-metre handicap today?
The 10 metre probably wouldn't worry it. It's just would be luck in the running. I think it just needs a strong pace, but following them along, and if it can work into it late in the piece, I don't think the 10 metres will worry.
In race number 4, you're driving a form horse in Chumakin. How do you see its chances today?
It's drawn bad, but I've always said that you don't know a bad draw until after the race. So if she can get around them with a card up, and you just never know if it's luck in the running, but she should go a good race.
In race number 5, Jacker Pete ended up finishing ninth on the first day. Were there any excuses for that run?
Yeah, it was my fault. I thought the horse was good enough to lead, and Murray Brown told me it wasn't, and he was right, so he's just basically a follower.
So what about today's prospects for Jacker Pete?
Well, like I say, he's going to have to get cover, and I believe he could have a form reversal just by the fact of having a trail and having one crack at them.
In our feature race today, race number 6 on the card, the Listener Stable has 3 runners in, and you're going to be driving Gleaming. Looked to be an outstanding run there in the Nelson Winter Cup. Can you confirm that?
Mark, I thought it was the run of the meeting. I just couldn't believe the horse run second. If he had a run 5th or 6th, I'd have been wrapped, and for him to run second, he's only just coming back to the horse that I've always thought he was. He's an above-average horse. He's the best of our 3, no doubt. I hope he can win. He looks $1 million, and you know, I really hope he can win the race.
I've tallied you up at 99 wins for the season. You might be able to confirm that, and could the 100th winner come today?
Yeah. Well, when I got to 90, I said to John I was in the nervous 90s, but I wasn't going to worry about that. I said I'll be attacking as normal. I don't know if the winners are there. I'll be doing my best. If they're not, I may have to wait another week. I may never get it, you don't know, but I've got some good drives.
King, congratulations on that bag of 5 on the first day. All the best today for that 100th winner, possibly.
Thanks very much, Mark.
Ken Barron there with his thoughts on his drives today, and the Listener team. Well, it's not a big team today, but nonetheless, those that they have in, they've got 3 in the 1 race. And with Gleaming, that'll head the charge there, but Kaino and Nellie's Boy, certainly good backups for them in the feature race, race number 6 on the card. And, well, it's pretty interesting at the top of the table, too, as far as the trainers are concerned, because Mark Purdon trained 4 winners last night. We'll go into that a little later. Let's concentrate on the first of the day now. Only a couple of minutes remaining to invest. And the favourite in the race is horse number 2. And that was Hawa Wiz. And the horse was particularly unlucky on the first day. Got back on the inside, didn't get out till late, and finished in 6th place. Calling the action on Friday was Rion Murtha, and Rion, I heard you mention that Hawa Wiz distinctly unlucky. Do you think he'll, from number 2, control things in this race?
Yeah, a couple of things probably the punters need to know about this, Mark. Good morning to you anyway. It's that he did get buried. He got well back, and when Kevin Townley was looking for a chance to get it into the clear, he started to pull very hard and just didn't get any room. So much so that he was so busy pulling on the reins, holding it back, that he didn't get a chance to fire the removable hood. So the horse didn't get a chance to have the removable hood released, and it came home pretty strongly for 6th. Wasn't too far away, 2 or 3 lengths from the winner, I think, Thrill Me, but it was certainly the unlucky run. So smaller field today, and Hawa Wiz looks as though it should be able to break through for its first win.
$2.50 and $1.45 for Hawa Wiz. Kevin Townley, the trainer driver. Number 5 in the race, Rion, is Winter Sport, a horse that I think should get a win shortly for Barry Lilly. It's currently at $7.30, but a pretty good run on the first day by the sounds of things.
Yeah, she's a good, honest mare, of course, 7-year-old now, but she's been racing consistently. She did everything as well as to be expected the other day. Got back. You can't get back on this track. It's a very flat track, and even though it's got a very long straight of about 300 metres, if you're too far back at the turn, the leaders just seem to get away on you. So it wasn't a bad run to get up for 4th. It was a good finish behind Thrill Me for 4th.
740, 190 for Winter Sport. Number 11, Gazinta, win a pretty game race on the first day.
Another one that just got parked for a long way the first day. Just didn't get much of a run in the early stages, but stuck it out well. And the 2 runs that it's had up around the circuit at Nelson and here have indicated that, well, a winning run mightn't be too far away either.
Number 11, Gazinta, 625, 195. 10 in the race is pretty slow. This horse has been trying for a wee while, but fairly good race the other day too.
Yeah, unfortunately named, isn't she? But nevertheless, she's been getting better. In her earlier part of the career there, she looked as though she was living up to a name, but these days she's getting right into the race. Good, honest races. Was right in the ruck right throughout the contest the other day and ran on pretty well.
Close to a start, race number 1 on the day. The Marlborough Powder Coating Trot, 2,300 metres is the journey. Another well-supported runner in this. Got number 7, which is Albion Park. $11.40 and $2.75 for Albion Park. On the first day, was only just over 2 lengths from the winner, running in 5th place. Would certainly be a trifecta chance on that. Double-figure odds today, Albion Park. Robbie Holmes to do the driving again. And there is one other runner under double figures. That's number 8, Vienna Wood. It's the drive of Anthony Butt, who was up at Morrinsville last night at the Cambridge Raceway, the Morrinsville meeting. Drove a 2nd and a 3rd placing up there. He's got a small book of drives today, Anthony Butt, but he's driving a runner with quite a bit of money on board here, Vienna Wood, number 8. Coming to their starting positions, though, for race number 1 on the card. It's going to be an excellent day's harness racing. Don't forget, too, the Oamaru Jockey Club, race 1 at 11:40, off to Sheldon Merthyr very shortly. In the meantime, though, go to the Merthyr Senior, Rion Merthyr, for his call on race 1.
Thanks, Mark. I wouldn't leave number 1 out of your selections if you've taking it in trifecta. It's only had the 1 run. Wasn't a bad run the other day, and it just broke inside the last 100 metres. So if you're looking for a place bet with Colin de Philippi aboard, $4.30. They're off and running now. And Springfield Wiz stepped out pretty well down on the inside, and also out well as Longliner there, the first 2. They were followed out by Winter Sport and Cert 2. Russell Ladd has broken up. It's gone to the back of the field. Up and about 5th place is the favourite Hawa Wiz, is joined on the outside by Vienna Wood rather, and back behind those runners Gazinta. Albion Park in the centre, pretty slow on the outside of those. A gap of about 4 lengths back to Taki was Hawa Wiz has broken up. Favourite's gone up in the air and broken, lost a good 20 metres there, settled down, but it's 3rd to last now, and well back in the running at this stage is OK Fella, and Russell Ladd still won't trot. Round the turn into the straight they come. The leader Springfield Wiz, it's out by a couple of lengths, is followed by Longliner. 2 is running 3rd. After those runners then on the inside, they were followed by Vienna Wood, just easing off the hub rail, and that allows Gazinta to get through in the inner. It was followed by Albion Park and pretty slow. Hawa Wiz recovering again the outside. On its inner to Taki Wiz. It's followed a bit further back by Winter Sport. 4 or 5 lengths away, they were followed by OK Fella, and Russell Ladd has settled into the trot now, but it's 100 metres last. Past the judge they go on the bend out of the straight, and the leader is Springfield Wiz by about a length from to the outside. Right in behind those is a Longliner, then Vienna Wood back on the inside to Gazinta. A length away to Albion Park and to Taki Wiz, and pretty slow. Hawa Wiz a length and a quarter back now, and back behind that on the outside is Winter Sport and OK Fella. A long gap to Russell Ladd's not going to be in it. We don't need to mention him much more. Into the back they travel, just on 1,100 metres left to run, and the leader is still Springfield Wiz by about a length and a quarter. Cert 2 sitting outside the leader, followed by Longliner getting the trail. Next is Vienna Wood on the outside, 1,000 metres to run. After those runners on the inside is Gazinta, 3 deep. Next to it on the outside as they travel into the back was Albion Park. It's followed by Taki Wiz and pretty slow. Hawa Wiz a length and a quarter back with OK Fella, and at the back of the bunch on the outside is Winter Sport as they head down the back. They race down past the 800 metres, the first of the day. Now Springfield Wiz giving away on the inside. Moving up to it, the outside Cert 2 was put a neck in front, and they were followed next on the outside by 8 Vienna Wood and Longliner on its inner. A length away to 7 Albion Park is followed deep on the inside by Gazinta, and the run coming from the favourite now Hawa Wiz. It's on the move around the field. It broke at this point on the first lap, but it's going up very quickly wide on the track. They were followed further back in the running, and then after Gazinta is Albion Park, followed by pretty slow to Taki Wiz and OK Fella. They swing the corner line of 4. Springfield Wiz the inside, Cert 2, and in the centre is Vienna Wood, and down the outside is Hawa Wiz starting to battle now, and coming from the back is Winter Sport. Springfield Wiz just trotting a little roughly, going to the front Vienna Wood, Cert 2, Gazinta getting through, and behind them it's Vienna Wood, Gazinta trying to get to it. Vienna Wood into Gazinta. Vienna Wood gets there, Gazinta Cert 2. Springfield Wiz was next. It was followed by